Welcome back, everybody. This is the Dreadful Minutes, and my name is Rick. Hello, new subscribers, or anybody else stumbling onto this channel for whatever reason. So this will be another quick ups video. What the hell is a quick ups? So the idea behind this was that 20 minutes or under, and no jump cuts, no frills, no editing, anything like that. I just show you a couple releases, and unlike the regular pickups video, which is more longer form, and I get silly and whatnot, I guess there's more frills to it. So that's basically what the divide is. Before I begin, I kind of just wanted to make a few acknowledgments and just kind of the goings on in the VC. One, welcome back, Sean Count Blagorath. He's been making videos again, and he kind of just picked up as if he never left. So just good to see you back, man. A lot of us have missed you, and we're happy to see some new content coming our way. Regardless of what it is, we show good stuff. Another one is Josh Keech. So Josh Keech, he's another member of the VC and really talented guitar player. So he put out an EP, Warrior in the Clouds. I think he titled it Part 1. So why am I saying this? So he released a physical format on CD, very limited run. I think this is an initial run of 40 copies. So it is based over in the UK. So if you're in the US, it'll pay a little higher expected shipping, but that's come to be expected, and it's just the way things are. I already put in my order. Can't wait till it arrives. Again, if you like his style generally leans more towards that sort of heavy metal, really that classic sound, a little bit of thrash, speed metal. All those little elements are kind of all wrapped up in there, and it's good stuff. It's purely instrumental. He doesn't have a full band yet, so there's no vocals or anything like that. But I'll leave a link to his Bandcamp page. You guys can check it out for yourselves. And while you're at it, just subscribe to his YouTube channel too. He's just talks about something he enjoys. He started doing live streams or being involved with them pretty recently too. So definitely check those out. Another one is Heavy Metallurgy. So Heavy Metallurgy, those of you who follow my channel, I'm sure you tune in for the album club on Wednesday nights or Friday nights. Sometimes the schedule can shuffle depending on what's going on with whatever other plans they have. So they might move to a Thursday or Tuesday. So anyway, so there's another iteration of T-shirts. So the OG Heavy Metallurgy T-shirts, which was Nate did a really good job with that illustration. But this time around, he commissioned Justin Vesteban's Bloodbox to do this T-shirt design. So it features cool illustration of Marty and Alan in the cloak, and he got the tombstone and all that stuff. It's got a very doomy look to it. So that's available now at the shop. Definitely check it out. Really, really cool illustration. Good job, Justin, man. Vesteban's Bloodbox. So another one you guys should be subscribed to. He has started doing videos again. He's dropped out for a little while, but good to see you back, Justin. Another one is just a what do you call it? So Johnny Mac at Rock and Metal Plus, and I know he's been having some health issues, and I just want to wish him just best of luck getting through this. I know it's hard, and I know people myself who's gone through cancer and other stuff, and it was just really devastating news to hear that and a member of the community is going through this. So hope you pull through, man. But other than that, let's just move it along, and I'll show you what I got here. So this theme will pretty much be the 90s. So I decided that was the decade I was a teen, and where I kind of cut my teeth in a lot of metal. I've gone through a roller coaster of genres and styles, which is kind of apparent, if you watch my channel often enough. I talk about all kinds of different things. So I'm going to begin with some material here, so that I picked up at the record store pretty recently. These three I picked up at the same shop, actually, in Philadelphia. So I'm going to start with Drown, and this is their debut album, Hold On to the Hollow. Came out in 1994, and it's 10 tracks right here. And it's industrial metal. I think by 1994, these guys were signed on to Electra Records, Electra Entertainment, and they very dark, very hard hitting, and it's imagine Nine Inch Nails at their darkest moments, you know, especially stuff from at the time, you know, the Broken EP, and this is the same year the Downward Spiral came out. I think of the darkest moments of those albums. Now take those moments and make it an entire album, and you pretty much got this. Really good stuff. If I could name some prominent stuff going on in here, it's Dave Ogilvy, I think is how you say it, was involved in producing this album, and really, really good. You guys know him from he was in, you know, Skinny Puppy for a long time. He was pretty much their engineer. I know he did guitar work, so he kind of flipped in and out with that band and moved to engineering full time. And you know, he's very prominent. I'm sure you've heard his music, whether you recognize him or not. He's been involved in a lot of prominent stuff. He worked with Ministry and Nine Inch Nails, believe it or not. Really, really, really cool stuff. He also produced Antichrist Superstar. Now, say what you will about Marilyn Manson. I know there's a lot of hate. I get it, and I'm not, you know, not going to dispute that. But an album like Antichrist Superstar, which is very simplistic from a musicianship standpoint, but why did it take off the way it did? You know, you can't deny the quality of the production on that album. You know, and you know he had a lot to do with it. And Drown is no different. This is some really good, hard-hitting stuff. I think there's a little more creativity involved with this than something that, you know, that Marilyn Manson ever put out. I'm not trying to make this one-on-one comparison with that band. You know, these guys are their own animal at the same time. So these guys are from, I believe, LA. I know that if I can name a prominent member, Rob Nicholson. So you got a kind of a assortment of pictures of the band's lyrics. A Drowning Cradle, I guess, Crib. And so Rob Blasco, I think goes by Nicholson, played in the first three bass Cryptic Slaughter albums. He's been around. He's moved around with a lot of bands. I know he's done stuff for Danzig, Prong, played bass for Ozzy. So, you know, some of that talent comes through here. So definitely check this out. Drown. Hold On to the Hollow. I know there's another full length after this one, so I'm not as familiar with that one. I do need to give that another listen and possibly pick it up. But this right here, 1994, this is the heyday of this kind of stuff. Really, really good. Another release, Godflesh, Pure. So yeah, I want to say 1992, and you know, it's like this hand coming out of the ground, and it's just, I don't know, it's really hard to really kind of describe what's going on here, but it's a little hard to kind of see the lyrics there, or the track listing. So another earache classic, and this shit, like how do you follow up Street Cleaner? You know, and this band out of the UK, it's just very intense. You know, the vocals, you know, they kind of tread the line between harshy, kind of a harsh, hardcore sounding, but still death metal kind of style. Now mixing all the electronic industrial elements that they put in there. These guys, in a way, have pushed and were involved with creating this kind of genre with Street Cleaner. So this right here, Pure, is more dense, a little more involved. Sounds fuller. It's not as hard hitting as Street Cleaner was, but it's still pretty heavy, you know, for what it is. So I'm glad to pick this up. You know, I have had Street Cleaner for a good while, but I don't know why I've never got around to getting the follow up. But just happy to have it. Definitely another classic from that era, Godflesh Pure. Definitely worth the pickup. Another one here is so earlier in the year, you know, I picked up Fetish 69's Antibody. Another one from 1993. Another really good industrial band from Austria, not talked about enough, and I don't know why. But that same year in '93, they put out this EP, Brute Force, and you can tell it's from the same sessions. Just as good. If you like Antibody, I don't see why you wouldn't like this. Very hard hitting. Again, if you already listen to bands like Godflesh, this is another one that should already be in your wheelhouse. So this was put out by Intellectual Convulsion, which I'm not really familiar. Don't know that name very well. Really cool. So what is notable about this? So essentially, they recruited Martin Scherank. I think that's how you say it. So as you guys already know, he's the guitarist for Pudge and Stench, and so that would explain the intensity and sort of just the heaviness and everything overall with this album. Really, really good. So definitely, if you haven't gotten into Fetish 69, definitely check out their catalog. Again, I think a band that I think is very underappreciated. So kind of move things along real quick here. Got two vinyl, and which I thought was worth pulling out too. So really happy to have this. So this is what year did this come out? 95, I want to say something like that. So Music on Vinyl reissued the follow-up to a Frown by Buzzoven, and yeah, I think it was limited to 1,000 copies. This one I got it in gold, I think. So yeah, so that would be Sore, and there's a lot of stuff happening here on this cover. So basically, it's a bunch of vices. You know, you see all the gambling and the hypodermic going to Jesus's head. I guess that's a penis hand. You know, what am I trying to say? You know, it's imagine like Black Sabbath's Heaven and Hell. You know, it's kind of, but just on steroids. You know, it's just with all this craziness and shit going on. These guys were living it, man. This is so Buzz Ovens, you guys know, from Charlotte, North Carolina. So they guys played that sort of dark sludge, quite heavy, and these if you're already listening to bands like, I don't know, Today's the Day, Acid Bath, Brutal Truth, you see where I'm going with this. I Hate God. This is another one that you should already be familiar with. So happy to have this. I figured put out by Roadrunner, and I don't know if To a Frown was under Roadrunner, but I think that one got reissued not too long ago too. So here is an insert, and there you go. And if you guys are familiar with To a Frown, the debut, it's very like a little more thin and garagey kind of sounding, but still quite I don't know, it has an element of despair to it. And this one here is no different in that respect, but this is the first time we see a Buddy, I forget how you say his last name, but Buddy here, he's the additional guitarist they added to this. He wasn't on the first album. I think we just had the one guitars. So this sounds fuller and richer. It's just thicker than the debut was, and you can tell. So it's I definitely like this better than To a Frown. Really, really, puts you in that place. Unfortunately, it's kind of ominous. Just looking at this picture in the back, because here's Buddy, and if you look at his eyes, he's got that sort of, I don't know what is going on there, but it's maybe a telling of what he was going through. He died of a drug overdose, and I want to say back in 2002 or something like that. So he stuck around for this album. I think the next two EPs, and pretty much split ways from there. But another classic one from the 90s. Definitely check this out, if you're already into sludge, not quite the New Orleans flavor, but if you're listening to those kind of bands like I Hate God, I don't see why you wouldn't like this. Dixie Collins wasn't quite in the band yet when this came out. He will come in a little later. But I know when you hear that name, you think of Weed Eater and bands like that. But he was also involved in Buzz Oven. So the last one for today is one I've actually had my eyeballs on for a long time, and I finally decided, you know what, I'm gonna pull the trigger on this, and that would be the second EP from this California death grind band, and that would be Phobia's Return to Desolation. Classic, classic, classic. Yeah, that's a lot of skulls and a lot of bones. And yeah, if I can just rant a little, it's this sticker. It's got to stay on there forever, because if I try to pull that thing out, it's gonna just. So you got to compromise between, do I end up with a messed up sleeve, or one that doesn't look quite as messed up because that sticker's on there. What I'll buy, sold by Rasputin for $7.95. That wasn't me. This was a Discogs pickup, actually. So I said, this had to be in my collection. I don't know, why I was dilly-dallying about that. Really cool, classic. So if I can just pull out the came with this little poster, and in the back, this is one of those deals where you have the lyrics on the poster, which I preferred in an insert form. Not quite, because if you want to hang the poster, then you're out of luck if you want to read the lyrics. So yeah, fortunately, I don't really hang the posters much when from my vinyl. That will take up a lot of room. But yeah, there you go. Pretty cool. Man, this is probably more death than grind. But still very another one that's very hard hitting. Notable thing about this is you have Raymond Herrera, a Fear Factory. So he's pretty much I guess he's a guest drummer on this one. And as you guys know, Raymond at the time was 1992, 1993 when this dropped, and he was already involved in Fear Factory and Brujeria at the time too. Though many may not have known that, because he went under a different pseudonym. But was so cool that he jumped on board on this. Not quite as industrial sounding as something like Fear Factory. You could definitely hear a different element of his style on this EP right here. So really, really cool. Classic band. These guys have been floating around for years. They didn't pull out their debut full length until like 1998. I think is when he dropped there. So these guys have been gigging and putting out demos and EPs like this for a good number of years before they started putting out full lengths. So yeah, that's what I got for you for today. So again, trying to keep this short for a quick up, and so I'll leave you all with that, and I'll catch you on the next one. So keep it dreadful. I'll catch you all later.